Now, this time, I'm going to tell you a story about my second concert experience ever. As I said in the previous video, my first concert experience was a band called Tala and a few other bands that they were touring with. Really fun, really enjoyed it. The second experience, I went with a few of my brothers and my brother's fiance. Went to go see a concert in Salt Lake City for the bands Fire from the Gods, The Who, um, Megadeth, that's the third one, and Five Finger Death Punch. And I know a lot of you are already going like, Five Finger Death Punch, how could Ed? I didn't go for Five Finger Death Punch. I went for The Who. um, The Who is one of the coolest bands ever. They're a Mongolian rock band, like metal band, where they incorporate Mongolian chants and stuff. I even managed to get this T-shirt from the concert of The Who. That was really cool. The first band, you can definitely tell like the budget for each band as they go further. Out of all of the bands that performed that night, I'd have to say The Who was the coolest, even though they had the second to last in like production and everything that was going on. But merely just what they said and did on stage was enough to fill the gaps. They had cool lighting and stuff, and that was pretty much the gist of it. While Megadeth had these really cool screens and stuff like that, and then Five Finger Death Punch had their freaking crazy stuff. I didn't really care much for Megadeth and Five Finger Death Punch, and a lot of people are probably going like, "You didn't care much about Megadeth?" I never grew up in that culture. I only in 2010 did I really get into metal or things as a genre. And funny enough, that was because of Five Finger Death Punch, because I remember going on Pandora, unrelated story, but I might as well tell it. Going on Pandora one day, and I was like, okay, let's do AC/DC radio, something simple. And then freaking the song 100 Ways to Hate by Five Finger Death Punch comes on. And it was the most swear words I had ever heard in any song or anything ever at that point. And I was immediately intrigued and going like, I can't let anyone hear about this, but I wanted to hear more. This was an interesting genre. And it was like, oh, I've just tapped into something bad. Like, oh, this kind of thing, right? Really funny, just little children stuff. But indirectly, that band, I really dropped off of them at one point. Eventually, I just not as interested in the band as I once was. But yeah, The Who definitely had the coolest, because they were like doing chants. They got the whole crowd hyped up. Who, who, who? It was freaking cool. Megadeth, I knew that Dave Mustaine and all that stuff. I was really impressed. Dave Mustaine up there is in his 60s, 61 to be exact. And he still got it. He is a shred god up there. He is awesome. And then Five Finger Death Punch was Five Finger Death Punch. I have an interesting thing to tell you about that concert, though, that happened during Five Finger Death Punch in a minute. But yeah, Fire from the Gods, the first one, they were cool. I really liked their music. And plus, more recently, they featured as one quarter of a song called Vanilla Paste from Tala, the band that I really like. They guest starred in as one of the people in a song that they produced. Really cool song. It's called Vanilla Paste by Tala. Go check it out. It's really cool. The Who, obviously, was the band that I was going for, and that was really cool. The rest of everyone there was going for Five Finger Death Punch. Megadeth, super cool. And then Five Finger Death Punch goes on. Whole thing, there's like steam and like lights everywhere. Absolutely crazy. They go like 5 songs, I think. And then to my theory, if ever anyone remembers who knows of Five Finger Death Punch, This was recently like announced big time in Denver, Colorado. Like the previous night's concert from that day, Ivan Moody revealed that after one more Five Finger Death Punch album, he was retiring from the band. I have a feeling he was gonna do exactly that. Exactly that. But and at the time I was going to get some merch of Five Finger Death Punch because I was like, you know what? I'm here. I might as well get something because I do like the kind, like the design of their new shirt. It's more of like a tacky kind of cool design. So it's like I don't really care much about it, but you know what? Why not? And as I was at the booth chatting up to people, like seeing what they got, the power goes out. And I was like, oh no, is this one of those funny situations where the power draw on the stage is so crazy that the power just goes out and it'll come back eventually? And I was like, oh, we'll just give it a little try. And then the people in the merch stand go like, oh yeah, since the power's out, the internet's out right now and we can't sell anything. No, man. I was like, okay, well, we'll just wait. And sure enough, the power does come back on for a second, goes, and then just goes out. Completely dark again. And I was like, oh, okay, this is a little more serious than I thought. After a long time of just nothing and silence and darkness with 40,000 people in the inside going like, what is going on? Like, what is it? Darkness. I see two security guards at one point rushing across, keys jingling over to go do something. I was like, uh-oh, something happened. And then lights come back on. I was like, oh, I guess they figured it out. But I was like, wait a second. Only the lights on the inside when it came back on, but the lights on the inside of the merch store didn't come back on. And I pieced it together in my brain. I was like, oh, these must be backup generators. That means that the venue is going like, oh, I guess we can't do anything. So out you go. We'll provide light so you can get out. It was not very far in that I heard from officials that the power outage happened because of a drunk driver hitting a power transformer. And it shut down the entire power to like the surrounding block and the venue area, to the point where when we got an Uber, first time ever driving in an Uber, by the way, was the ride to the venue and the ride back. First time ever. We're going, it's all dark. There's police officers at every intersection, like doing traffic control. It was really crazy. But yeah, the Five Finger Death Punch concert got stopped because a drunk driver hit a power transformer. It was just a really interesting second, like, concert experience. I would love to go to another concert, especially if The Who is ever involved in something like that. I would probably duel someone to get tickets to go to a The Who concert. But yeah, that's all I really got to say about that one. Just another storytelling little video. Really fun experience. I'm glad I got to do it. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Stay epic, guys. Good night. Bye-bye. Bye.